hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. For those of you who do not know, it's obviously I went out of town for Christmas, and I did come back home for New Year's. We came back home, I think on the 30th, or no, we came back home on the 28th. And I was thinking about streaming, but I decided not to. So we came back on the 28th, did New Year's on the 31st, 31st night, and then on the 2nd of January, I left to go to, if you read my title, it was called Passion 2022. We left January 2nd, the morning, and we got back around the afternoon of January 3rd. Actually, we left the morning of January 2nd and didn't get back till the afternoon of the 4th, but the 3rd is close enough. From the conference, and I just wanted to take this live stream to kind of show you guys some pictures that I took while being at the conference, because I took a lot of pictures and a lot of videos. I am hoping that I will not get copyrighted because a lot of the videos that I took involved singers singing their song. It was basically, Passion's basically a concert experience, but it has speakers there too who are speaking, and I just wanted to share my Passion experience with you guys, and hopefully if you get old enough, you guys, I'll be able to see you maybe at Passion. Passion is basically an event for college students. It is mostly for college students, but they also invite high school seniors to come. You have to be between the ages of 18 to 25 to come, and you can come like all through, like you can come starting at 18, and then, you know, when you turn 26, you can't come anymore, but you can volunteer to help. Now, I'm probably not going to do that, but just to let you guys know about that. And let's go. So, first picture that I took, I thought this was hilarious. I texted my mother this picture, and I told her, we're almost there, even though I knew we were on the road for like an hour, and the trip was supposed to be a 3-hour long trip. The reason I said we're almost there is because Georgia's, like, I don't know, Georgia's mascot is a peach, and if you look, whoops, I knew I would go the wrong way. That's the group of people I went with. That's a peach. That's a peach, and I got somebody else. Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, we're almost there. And I texted my mom, and I was like, wait, we've only been on the road for like an hour. How could we be almost there? And so my mom texted back, and she was like, that's in South Carolina. Like, this peach is in South Carolina. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. This is us passing the Welcome to Georgia sign. And I wanted to get a picture of the sign because I was filming this, so I was like, I can't really get a picture because I'm currently filming. And so I decided to just take a picture of that video. I literally just took a picture of the sign from that video. Wait, were those crosses there? Hold on. Were those crosses there? Oh yeah, they were, look. I didn't even notice those crosses. That's funny. But yep, we made it to Georgia. And then while we were driving through Georgia, we passed this, which I took a picture of it because I thought, is that the Capitol building of Georgia? Like, I had no idea if that was the Capitol building of Georgia, and you even got the statue up there. And so when I got home, actually not when I got home, this morning I was showing my parents these pictures, and I showed my mom this picture, and she looked up what this building was, which it is the Capitol. It is the Capitol building, and she said that that statue up there is 20 foot tall. That's a 20-foot tall statue on top of that building. You would think the peach is farther south in South Carolina. You rarely ever see it. Yeah, it was interesting, Cyan. Like I said, we were on the road for like an hour, and we saw the peach. And we had like 2 more hours to go. So it was weird. It was very weird, but yeah. When I heard that that statue's like 20 feet tall, I can't imagine that. It looks like a church. Oh, I guess this would look like like a Jewish temple or something. Because I mean, there is a golden domed building in Jerusalem, I think. I think that's where it is. This is when we showed up to the stadium. That right there, guys. If you've never seen the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And man, I mean, you can see the comparison. That's a human. That's how tall humans are compared with that bad boy. That bad boy. And that just looks cool. I know it's the Mercedes logo, but that just looks cool. And then there's a little glimpse of like inside the stadium, all the stairs. And then there's the check-in where we get metal detected and go inside the stadium. Those lines were huge. They were huge. Then that's the side of the stadium, says Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a little blurry, so I don't know why. I guess it was just because we were moving so fast. So this is us first walking into Passion 2022. This is us first walking into the stadium. So that was cool, being able to see this. Now for the first night, there's like there's the floor level, and then there's like this the first little hill of people. So the floor, then the first hill of people, then you have the second level, then you have the third level. And so for the first night, we were on, I believe, the second level of the whole stadium, which, as you can see, there's the floor right there. And then that's let me see if I can pause it. Let me go back a little bit. So that's the floor. This is the first level. Well, I don't think that side actually had a first level, but the first level would be somewhere around here. Then that's the second level, and that's the third level. And we were on this level on the other side. The stadium almost looks like an indoor NASCAR drag stadium. This is where we were the first time. So there's the stage right there. That's the stage. There's the screen there, screen here, and then a screen there. And then there's a little walkway, right? Wait. No, the walkway's over here. There's a little walkway that goes from the stage all the way over to a platform. And it's hard to tell, but either the platform, I think the platform's right in this area where that guy's face is. Obviously, this is a bad picture to show, but I think that's where the platform was. And you'll get other pictures of where the platform was. So this is a better picture. There's the stage, and them performing on the stage. Oh, I got a picture of the drums. That's cool. And then the walkway goes from the stage all the way over to this second stage right here. And you can see in this picture, there's people on the floor. There's people in this area. There's people here. And there's people up here. And from my perspective on the first day, it was super hard to see these people that were on the stage, and so we mostly looked at the screens up here for a lot of things. So when there was a pastor speaking, we would mostly look up there to be able to see them. I heard that Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the stadium that we had this in, there's the name right there, and you'll see a video that has the name a little clearer that I made. We found out that Mercedes-Benz Stadium can hold about 60,000 people. And right before Passion started, they sent out a social media post saying that the Mercedes-Benz Stadium was completely sold out. No social distancing whatsoever. Let me remind you, no social distancing whatsoever. And I mean, you can tell. And even without social distancing, we sold out the stadium. There were 60,000 plus people in that stadium for Passion 2022. Here's another video. This is, I think, of a speaker. Yes, so this is, I don't know if you guys know him. This is Levi Lesko, and I filmed a little bit of their messages, not like the whole thing. This is Levi. Let's go.
Unity of what God wants to speak through the team and those who are going to be serving and leading you. We're your Sherpas, so to speak, guiding you along, hopefully pointing out the things for you to pick up and to put into your bag for the coming days. You might find a slightly bigger emerald. That's a Kivo emerald. Grab that. And as we go, we're going to believe that God is going to speak to us in powerful and profound unity of what God
So
wants
that
to
was
speak.
Levi Lesko. He was one of the first people to speak to us. Then these are where the real concert experience come in. These are the LED lights that, are they flash from, the sound team controls them, whatever, and they flash based off of the song. Sadly, in those 2 days that we had Passion, they were only used like for the last few songs before the event ended. So like day one, they were used like at the nighttime for the last few songs of that session, and then day two, they were used for the last few songs of the very last session of that day, because day one had an event that went, I believe, from 6:30 to midnight, which, whew, that's long, but it had breaks. And then day two had multiple events, but we never left the stadium. It had multiple sessions with breaks, but we never left the stadium. We got to the stadium. So, funny story. One of my friends, he decided to convince us to wake up at 6:30 a.m. the second day of Passion to go get some breakfast, and then after we get breakfast, head to Passion so that we can get in line early and get into the seats early. So we wake up at 6:30, go get breakfast, get to Passion at around 8. Keep in mind, the session does not start till 10. We get to Passion at around 8, and I am not joking. So the entrance to the stadium is right here. And keep in mind, we had a session at 10 a.m. We got there at around 8. The entrance to the stadium is right there. Us waiting to get in at around 8 o'clock, we were about right there. That's where we were at 8 o'clock for a 10 a.m. session. It just blew my mind that, like, that many people were standing out there and it was 8 o'clock. Like, if that many people were standing out there, how long has the first person in line been there? Have they been there since 6? Like, did they just decide, you know what? I'm not gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna sleep outside of, well, I'm gonna sleep outside of the Passion Stadium. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, how in the world does a line get that big at 8 o'clock for a 10 a.m. conference? It blew my mind. 5G, that was the first time I saw 5G on my phone. Usually it's like LTE or something like that. Um and it was funny because the first day of Passion, that happened. Like, I saw 5G on my phone and I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool, 5G." But the second day of Passion, there was no 5G. Like, it never showed up on my phone when I was in the stadium. No 5G. The first day, it was on my phone and stayed there for a while. But the second day, it never showed up on my phone. So it was strange. Imagine if they opened to the roof. I wish they could have opened the roof. And this is gonna be shown later. Day one, they didn't open the roof because it was forecasted to rain. And then, actually, wait. No, 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 no. Day one, they didn't open the roof because it was forecasted to rain. And then when David Platt started preaching, yes, David Platt was there. He was preaching. When David Platt started preaching, it started pouring the rain down. And he used it in his sermon cleverly. He was like, that's God's blessing or whatever. And so it was pouring the rain down hard. And then day two, they didn't open the roof, and we kind of speculate that they didn't do it because of the, like, accumulation of water that could have happened up there because of all the rain. Now, I don't know how the stadium works and how they maintain their roof or whatever, but yeah, we were just speculating that day one they didn't open it because it was forecasted to rain, and it did rain, and then day two they didn't open it because of probably the rain accumulation that was up there. This video I'm about to show is the second half of like their promotional video that they made for Passion. I don't know where the first half is, but this is like the second half.
Are here for more than a temporary moment in time. We exist for the glory of God. By His breath, we breathe. By His word, we move. By His death, we are forgiven. By His resurrection, we are risen. We can walk in certainty. Jesus has a plan and a purpose for our lives. For your life, we are invited into the eternal story, walking in victory, proclaiming freedom to the captive, and carrying the good news to the ends of the earth. There is one true God. His name is Jesus, our hope, our salvation, our reason for being. He has always been. He will always be. He is forever.
That's KB. KB was there. And this song, like, you know, I'm not a KB rapping like freak. Like, I don't listen to him much. But okay, so but in this song, this is what happened in the middle of his song. Let me go back to like the big part.
Guys. I love you so much. We're not here to judge, we are here to serve. This song, first of all, is called 100. I hear some of y'all saying 100. Okay, that's not proper. Ibami is a real language respected as such. It's 100. I also need to see a Passion 22 turn-up that gives us a historical, monumental turn-up that this stadium has never seen. I gotta see it.
This I think is Sadie. Yes. So this is Sadie. She's known. She's known as Sadie Robertson because she is, I believe, the daughter of basically like the Doug Dynasty men, like the men who are known as Doug Dynasty. She's the daughter of them, I believe. And so she's known as Sadie Robertson, but she's married now to a guy named Christian Huff, and they've been married, like they actually have their own kid now. But even though she's married to Christian Huff and her name is Sadie Huff, people still know her as Sadie Robertson because of her Doug Dynasty background. So it's kind of funny how every time she's introduced, it's like some people call her Sadie Robertson and everyone starts cheering, but then some people call her Sadie Huff and we're all like, who? Like everyone's like, who, when they say her name's Sadie Huff. But she's married, so her name is Sadie Huff. But we know her as Sadie Robertson because she was a part of Doug Dynasty. But this is her preaching a little bit, and she was not there. I don't know why. She did not say why, but she mentioned that she wasn't going to be, she's not going to be in the Mercedes-Benz. She had a good message. She really did. Then this is David Platt.
Around here, Acts chapter 16, verses 6 through 10 in your Bible, the Spirit of Jesus comes to Paul, and he stops him from going this way, and stops around here.
He talked about like poverty, and the red zones and the orange zones of poverty, and it was really, really cool. This is Crowder. Okay, sorry. I'll let you guys enjoy it. This is a song by Crowder that I've never heard before, but I love it. Like, I actually love it. And hope I won't get copyrighted. Just so much energy in this song, man. And I've never heard it before. There's so much energy in this. there's the LED light bracelets that we had, and Crowder's still performing, and you can see all across the stadium the lights going crazy. So that was cool being able to see that, and I think I have some pictures. I think I have some pictures of like the lights being on, but you can see them flashing all over the stadium. Here's another song where it was flashing. Again, Crowder. Crowder again. All right. Here's one. Here's a picture of every single light. And like I said, you got people on the floor. This is where we were the second night. This is probably where we were the first night, but this might be where we were the first night. I think this is where we were. Like we were in this general area, but there was also people up there. And I love how you can see like the outside world through that window. Like that's another cool thing about the stadium is that there's like windows that you can still see the outside world from, and you can also hear like sirens going off, which one of the pastors I didn't film this, which I should have taken a picture of him, but I didn't. One of the pastors that was preaching, and he's actually the guy who created the Passion Conference. His name's Louis Giglio is his name, if you want to look him up. He's the one who created this whole Passion Conference, and he's the lead pastor of Passion Church in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's kind of where Passion comes from. Is there's Passion, the Passion Church in Atlanta, Georgia. You have the Passion Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and then there's also a music group called Passion Music. So that's kind of where Passion comes from. But Louis Giglio, I think during our second day, he mentioned in his message, which was like the very last message of the event, that apparently two girls were, they came to Atlanta and they were walking to come to Passion. I think it was like the first night. They were walking to come to Passion and they ended up getting hit by a car, and it was a hit and run. And they got to the hospital. They, at the time he said that they were in critical condition, but just like a few hours ago, like from now, just a few hours ago, Louis Giglio posted an update saying that they are doing better and they will probably be released by the from the hospital sometime this week. So, yeah, they got hit by a car. It ended up being a hit and run, and they were critical. They were in critical condition at the hospital on Monday, but just a few hours ago, it was announced that they are probably going to be released by the hospital sometime this week. So, praise God for their healing, and hopefully their recovery will be a little more faster. During Passion, we had something called the 12 verse challenge. Basically, what that was, as I said, we had 60,000 people in that stadium. The goal with that 60,000 people was to raise $1 million to to raise funds to translate 12 verses of the Bible into a language that two specific people groups spoke. I forget what the languages were, but that's what the 12 verse challenge it was basically you put in how much money you wanted to pay a month to be able to fund 12 verses of the Bible being translated to two different languages for two people groups in a certain country. We actually were close to making it to 2 million. I think when they checked at the end of Passion, we were at like $1.5 million, which blows my mind. But because of that goal, because we made it to $1.5 million, they had someone from one of those people groups, and they kept talking about how one of the Bible verses that hasn't been translated into that language was I'm probably gonna quote the beginning of this wrong, but the rest of it I'll quote right. Then Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." That Bible verse right there. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. That Bible verse was not translated in the language that we were raising money to translate Bible verses for. And so they had a guy who spoke that language and was from that country come to Passion, and he wrote that verse for the very first time in their native language. And it was so cool. It took a long time for him to write it though, which I thought was funny because it's always interesting to see how a lot of languages, like we in English could have a small sentence, but a small sentence for us could be like 2 lines of words for another language. And so it was really cool to see him write that in the native language for the very first time. This is one of my favorite Crowder songs. Actually, no, that's not Crowder. That's Sean Curran, I think is his name. That's not Crowder. And funny story about this guy. Here, let me go back a little bit. So as you can see, he's wearing an orange beanie. He performed after a break. When we all came back from that break, so many people were wearing orange beanies, and we were all like, "Okay, what just happened? How did we go from no one wearing orange beanies before the break to now a bunch of people are wearing orange beanies after the break?" And then this guy came out, and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense now." So that's why everyone was wearing orange beanies. This is Crowder again. Amnesia. No, I didn't mean to do that. I get amnesia. I love this song. If you've ever heard Good God Almighty, here you go. That's what the song's called, Good God Almighty. Alright, so this is funny. Someone tell me this is like an AC or a heater. Please. Like, Mercedes-Benz is like a rocket ship when I saw this. Also, this is when the day we woke up early and got in a long line at like 8 a.m., we saw this. And it was funny because we were super cold. It was like 40 degrees that day. And so me and a friend, we turned around and put our backs on this like area of the wall. And we were able to feel the heat a little bit coming out of that. It just blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, that's gotta be like an AC unit or a heater or something. And I think it was because what is it? I think if it's an AC unit, it blows out heat, right? I think that's what it is. If it's an AC unit, it blows out heat. And so because of it being 40 degrees, this is all of the heat coming out of the stadium at the time, which is just crazy. It was so crazy to see. I was just like, what is that? Mercedes-Benz is like a rocket ship or something. So I took a picture of it because I thought that was funny. And you can also see a little bit inside the stadium. You can't really read the words, but you can see it in there. And then this is another speaker. I don't remember her name, but I think it might have been Jackie Perry. I think that might have been her name. She was not there either. That this is just a video. But yeah, I think her name was like Jackie Perry or something like that. And then this is our lunch. So day one, like I said, day one, we only had an event starting at like 6 and it went till midnight. Day two, we had multiple events. And one of those events, they had it, and then they had like a lunch break. And you were allowed to leave the stadium and go grab lunch if you wanted to. They actually, I think lunch break was 2 hours long, so they allowed people to go out and get lunch if they wanted. But they also provided lunch, and it was provided by the good old Jason's Deli, which I've never heard of. But let me tell you, Jason's Deli, that was good. That was actually good. That is some good looking foods. It was. It really was. I don't know what I had. I think it was a ham sandwich. And obviously, and well, not obviously for those of you who don't know me, but I took the tomato out because I'm actually allergic to tomato. They also had Jason's Deli sponsored water, some potato chips, and a cookie, which you can partially see right there. So That was really good. That was a good lunch. And imagine, like, here's my thing though, and I told this to one of my friends. Imagine being Jason's Deli and getting a call saying, "Hey, can you make uh some ham sandwich meals for 60,000 people?" Like, imagine hearing that. Hearing that you have to make sandwiches for 60,000 people. Like, that's crazy to think about. I don't know how long it took them. Then that's Carrie Job, which, fun fact, if you didn't know this, Carrie Job and another artist named Cody Carnes are married. I hadn't, like, I think I learned that they were married, but I had no idea that they were married. Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, that was interesting to know. But yeah, Cody Carnes and Carrie Job, they performed a lot together on stage, which I guess makes sense. From my experience with a sandwich shop, doing large sandwich orders is a huge task and limits the space to move around. So that is a huge feat for them. Water is water. Yeah, and again, like, how do you, like, in a span of how long did they have to make those 60,000 sandwiches? Like, how long did Passion give them to make 60,000 sandwiches? Dang. This is another video of the worship happening, and yes, there are people in front of me. You think 2 weeks? Wow. Then me trying to turn off my camera. Another video of good old worship. This song right here, if you have never heard this song before, go look up The Blessing by, I think it's by Carrie Job. If it's not by Carrie Job, just look up The Blessing and find that song. That song, just listen to this. Listen to this part right here. And by the way, shout out to that man right there. He literally fell on the ground in worship. Look at this man. Watch. This man literally fell on the ground in worship. Like, that song does something to you. It is such a cool experience. This girl, she killed it. She has an accent, so it's kind of funny, but she killed it, guys. She killed it. Okay, let me explain something to you guys. This girl right here, sorry, someone at my door. This girl right here, she literally killed it. Literally killed it. What I'm trying to tell you guys is this. She, like, was emotionally invested, and she was, telling us, we can't struggle alone with our sin, and we need, like, I mean, look at what she's sitting on. Weight, sin. Like, she's sitting on boxes that say weight and sin. And, like, she talked in her sermon about how just, like, sin piles up and the weight piles up on you and you just cannot handle life. But then she goes on and says, you are not alone. because God is with you and all these people in the stadium are with you. And so here's what she does. No joke. This is literally what she did. She also cried a little bit during her message, but that shows you're invested. She literally, no joke, I'm not joking about this, and I mean it. She literally said, she like got a little emotional and she said, "We're gonna do this. Pair up in groups of 2 or 3. Just get in a circle, and here's what I want you to do." This is literally what she told us to do. Get in a circle and confess a sin. That's literally what she told us to do. Get in a circle of 2 or 3 of the people around you and confess a sin. Now, I'm not going to say what I said. I'm not going to say what the guy that I was with said. But just think about that. Like, it was hard. It was. And the guy I was with, he actually kind of was more confident than I was. I almost cried. I took like 3 breaths before I said it. And literally, my friend that I was with, he just said, "Well, I'm struggling with this. Yes, I'm not going to say it." And I was I did kind of know he was struggling with what he said, but it was, she killed it out there. She was good. She was good. Oh boy. If you guys get to experience passion, do it. Go experience passion. This guy right here is one of my favorite new artists. So listen to this. I love how in this part he sneaks. It literally looks like he's like sneaks when he says that lyric. Like, that guy is such a good music artist. It's crazy. This picture was really cool. It's the sunlight from the stadium. This was at around noon, I think. Or no, not noon. This was maybe 11, something like that. Yeah, there was sunlight beaming through. So that, and look how far it goes. Like, it's right there, and it goes all the way down to really the almost down to the stage. Like, it keeps going. There's also one of those, I don't know if you guys watch football, but those are the types of cameras they use for like football games. So they used that, but that was just really cool to see. And not only that beam, but you also have a beam up here as well going across, and also just the sunlight. Like, that looks cool. Like, my camera did that obviously, but that does look cool. Also, for those of you guys who have seen The Chosen, somebody in front of me had a Binge Jesus mask on, and I was not wearing my mask. So I apologize for all those who say wear a mask. Let me show you. This is the mask that I wore. This is the mask that really I wear everywhere. But this is the one that I wore at Passion. Or at least kind of wore, but I took it off. So I know it's probably mirrored a little bit, but this is what I wore. Wait, the get needs to be fixed. There we go. Get used to different The Chosen. If you haven't watched The Chosen yet, I encourage you, go watch it. Also, do I look like a burglar now? I've never worn a mask on stream, so that's funny. But yeah, that's the mask that I wore to Passion. So this one, yeah, this is it. So this one, as you can see, there's people on the stage waiting for the event to happen. And we were doing this dance. I'm trying to remember how the dance went. Let's see if I got it right before we play it. So I think if I'm correct, it was on beat to the song, and it literally went like this. It went like it literally was like that or something. Something like that. I know there was a clap in there. And you literally could hear the clap throughout the entire stadium. I'll show you guys the video. This is what the dance looked like. It was the spin. I forgot about the spin. Like it was so funny seeing everyone do that. And then this, yeah, so there's a song called it's called Glorious Day. And this is the big part of the song where we all scream I ran out of that grave, and then there's like a little dance break, like we all start jumping. So, but this time, at this moment, they had someone come out and speak the song in Spanish. They had someone sing the song in Spanish. Now, we all, of course, sang it in English because we knew what the song was, but somebody was speaking it in Spanish, and they had, if you saw at the beginning, they had the Spanish lyrics right there, and that guy's reading the Spanish lyrics. And by the way, I know I have a lot of photos, a lot of photos and videos of this. It was just so much fun, and I wanted to film a bunch of it for you guys to see, and get maybe some interest for you guys to come when you become either now if you're 18 to 25, or in the future when you become 18 to 25. This is a picture that I took of. I just wanted to get a good picture of the words Mercedes-Benz Stadium and like all of the people in there. So, like it's. Like, look how big this stadium got filled, guys. It got filled to the brim. There's people all the way at the top. It's crazy. Here's another picture I took. Oh, it's a video. This is me with the music in the background, zooming in to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's Maverick City music for those of you who think you know. There's Brandon Lake again. What a man. What a man. What a man. You see that, man? He's what a man. This man is so good. Please go look up Brandon Lake. Also, I love how he has, I think that's an Atlanta hat. I love how he's wearing an Atlanta hat. I just realized now that's what was on his hat. I had no idea that was on his hat. And there's Maverick City music again. There's him. You can hear the crowd singing. This is Brandon Lake singing. Gabe, I bet you like that organ that's being played for the song. Even though it's not really an organ, it's just a keyboard with an organ setting. Another song. You can barely hear it? Here, let me turn it up. I'm sorry. If I didn't mention this already, when Brandon Lake came out, no one knew Brandon Lake was coming to this. And when he came out, everyone went wild. I might have mentioned that already, but I just wanted to mention it again just in case. That's one of Maverick City's newest songs. And then this is just a picture that I thought would look cool because of all the spotlights. Like, look how many spotlights there were. I thought that looked really cool. And then you got the screen up there. I just thought that looked really cool. There's Cody Carnes right there. But here's how I feel about singing. So, yes, I am what they call the hands in your pocket Baptist. That is what I'm known as. Well, not known as, but that's what I guess people like me would be called, is hands in your pocket Baptist. And I do that whenever I'm at church with my parents. When I'm at church with my parents, I do the hands in your pocket Baptist. Like I have my hands in my pocket. But when I'm not with my parents, I take my hands out of my pockets and I raise them to the sky and I worship to the fullest. Kind of like that person right there. I do that. And so it's just, I don't know why, but every time I'm with my parents, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to raise my hands. But when I'm not with my parents, I will worship to the fullest. So at this moment, I started running out of space for videos, and so I just took pictures. The reason I took this picture, this is Maverick City Music. This is a song called Promises. Last semester that we just finished, I was in what's called a contemporary music ensemble. It was basically a group of students coming together to just play worship songs, and practice them for like small events that we would be a part of. And this is one of the songs that we practiced and played. Was a song called Promises by Maverick City Music. So go check out that song if you want. We also have this song called Jireh. Jehovah Jireh is one of the names of God. The song's called Jireh, but it's called Jireh because one of the names for God is called Jehovah Jireh, which I believe means the God who provides. So that was another song that they sang, which I actually never heard of until a few months ago, and so I was happy to hear it again at Passion. And then we sang, I think, one more song, and Passion was over.